Today we're going to talk about the science of a Kundalini awakening. Have you ever wondered, what is this Kundalini energy? How does it work in the body? What actually happens when someone has a Kundalini awakening? I am passionate about neuroscience, and I created this script to teach you about the brain, the body, and the mind. So let's dive into today's topic. So what is Kundalini? In simple terms, Kundalini is a form of energy located at the base of your spine. It's like a potential energy that is dormant until it gets activated. And when it gets activated, it moves upwards through your body, through 7 major chakras or energy centers, and culminates at the top of your head. This activation is often accompanied by a range of physical, emotional, and even spiritual symptoms. Now, these can be quite intense and can include things like shaking, trembling, different types of involuntary movements. Sometimes people even go into trances or altered states of consciousness. Now, before we continue, I want to make it very clear that the Kundalini awakening is a deeply personal and sometimes challenging experience. If you are going through this and you're watching this video, please take care of yourself. Go slowly. Pace yourself and listen to your body. But also, I want to say that many people who have experienced Kundalini Awakening report it is one of the most transformative experiences of their lives. They talk about profound shifts in their consciousness, increased energy levels, and a deep sense of inner peace and joy. So what actually happens in the body when you have a Kundalini Awakening? Well, it's really fascinating and involves a complex interplay between your nervous system, your endocrine system, and even your DNA. Let's start with the basics. The Kundalini awakening is first and foremost a neurological event. It involves the firing of neurons in the sympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for the fight or flight response. When these neurons fire, they release neurotransmitters like adrenaline and noradrenaline, which cause physiological changes in the body. These changes can include increased heart rate, sweating, and the release of other hormones like cortisol. But the Kundalini awakening also involves a shift in your brain waves. It's been observed that during a Kundalini awakening, people often show alpha and theta brainwave patterns. These brain waves are typically associated with states of deep relaxation and meditation. Interestingly, this shift in brain waves is similar to what happens when someone is in a hypnotic state. But it doesn't stop there. The Kundalini awakening also has a strong component to it. In fact, some researchers believe that the Kundalini awakening is a form of bioelectricity. Let me explain. When you have a Kundalini awakening, there is a surge of energy that moves through your body. This energy can be measured as an electrical current, and it follows specific pathways, much like the flow of electricity. In fact, some people who have experienced a Kundalini awakening report feeling like their body is filled with electricity or static. But what about the DNA? Some studies suggest that the Kundalini awakening can actually change the structure of your DNA. In one study, for example, researchers found that the DNA people who had experienced a Kundalini awakening had a different shape. It was more open and accessible, which may allow for greater genetic expression. This is really fascinating because it suggests that the Kundalini awakening is not just a neurological or energetic phenomenon. It actually affects the very building blocks of our bodies. So what are the symptoms of a Kundalini awakening? As I mentioned earlier, the symptoms can be quite varied and include things like increased energy levels, changes in your sleep patterns, heightened emotions, and even the ability to feel energy in your body. Some people also experience a deep sense of inner peace and tranquility. However, it's important to note that these symptoms can also be challenging and can include things like anxiety, fear, and panic attacks. So, how do you deal with these symptoms? Well, the key is to integrate them. This means working with your body and your emotions rather than trying to fight them. This can be done through practices like yoga, meditation, and even therapy. It's also important to understand that the Kundalini Awakening is a process, not an event. It can take days, weeks, or even months for the energy to move through your body. Be patient and trust the process. In conclusion, the Kundalini Awakening is a truly amazing phenomenon that involves the whole body, from your neurons to your DNA. It's a testament to the incredible power of the human body and the mysteries that still remain. As science and spirituality continue to merge, we're learning more and more about the nature of consciousness and the power of the human mind. Who knows what other discoveries await us? If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.